Good morning, students. This is Mrs. Fernandi. I am looking forward to another week of spelling and word work with you. This week, we're going to talk a little bit more about tion and jon, and we're going to learn how to spell possessives a little bit more. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share, first of all, my PowerPoint screen with you. And let's go ahead and start this from the beginning. We talked about this starting last week. Do you remember this is my cat's dish? This is my cat's dish. First of all, you might remember I have two cats, so I need to make sure that first I'm going to write the plural. I have cats, more than one cat. After I've thought about the plural, then I'll think about the possessive, and I'll put the apostrophe after the S. So this is my cat's dish. That means the dish belongs to my cat. That's what possessives mean. The dish is their dish. This is an opportunity to remember that this form of their, T-H-E-I-R, is the possessive form of their when we think about there, and there. The cat's dish is full. Again, plural cats first, then apostrophe S to show the possession. Here are the little rascals. We're talking about singular and plural possession. These are my family's cats. We are one family. So first I'm just going to write the word family, singular. Then I'll do the apostrophe S to show that they belong to us. My family's cats. One family, two cats. These cats' names are Suyu over here and Nessie, two cats with two names. So first I'm going to make sure I write out cats to show that I have multiple cats, plural cats. Then I'll put the apostrophe for the possession. Tsuyu is my son's cat. One son, one cat. Since I only have one son, I'm going to write the word son, singular. Then I'll do the apostrophe S to make sure I show that this one son has a cat. Same with my daughter. Nessie is my daughter's cat. I only have one daughter, so I'll write out the word daughter. Then I'll do apostrophe S to show that that cat belongs to her. One daughter with one cat. These are my kids' cats. So again, I do have two kids. You've been following along, right? And that means I'm going to write out the word kids, K-I-D-S, first. First, I'm going to think about plural or before I think about possession. So I'm going to write kids, and then I'll put the apostrophe after to show possession. So this week, you are going to need to learn to spell the possessives. So we're really going to want to learn these rules. So here we have monkeys' tails are long. What do we call the word monkeys? A plural word with a possessive? We call it the plural possessive. Is there one monkey or more than one monkey? That makes it the plural. One monkey would only have one tail. That would be singular. More than one monkey equals monkeys. First, we're going to think about the plural. Then we're going to add the apostrophe to show the possession of their tails. Okay, enough of that for today. We are going to go over that again a little bit later in another episode. So the next thing I'm going to do is share a Word document with you to show you some of the words for this week. So you'll be able to see there's a lot of possessions here. The first word is today's. Today is a super easy word for you to spell, but did you know that today could also possess? So today's math test will be after lunch, one day, and we're going to show that first by writing the word today is singular, and then we'll add the apostrophe, and then we'll add the S, because it's one day. Same with this one, nations. The nation's symbol is a bald eagle. One nation we're talking about here, the United States. So we're first going to write the singular nation, then apostrophe S to show possession. What if we had more than one nation though? What if we had all the nations in North America? Then we would first write out nations as a plural, and then we put possession. So for example, the nations of North America share a coastline. The nation's coastlines. So you need to put that together. The nation's coastlines are shared. So many nations, and then the possessive, which we show by adding the apostrophe. What if we have a word that is already plural? Child is our singular. Children is already plural. So we don't need to put the S and then the apostrophe. We've already thought about the plural, and we're just going to do it just like we do before, apostrophe S to show the possessive. Trees, the one tree's branches in our backyard give us shade. Well, we only have one tree, so first we're going to write tree, then we'll do apostrophe S to show the possession of the branches. But what if we were talking about the trees in the rainforest? That's a lot of trees. So we're going to say the trees' canopies give cool, damp shade to the rainforest. So we have a lot of trees. So again, we think about whether it's singular or plural first. So we're going to write trees in plural form. Then we'll add the apostrophe after to show possession. Here's another word that is already plural, women. Women is plural from woman. We changed that E to an A. So we don't need to add the S and then the apostrophe. All we need to do is add apostrophe S. We've already thought about our plural. Now we're going to think about our possessive. We're going to move away from possessives for a little while. Here's the word village. Village can be a little bit tricky to spell, but if you remember, we're just going to go ahead and split it right between the L's, underline the one vowel in the first syllable, it's a short I, vil, and then we're going to underline the A and the E as our vowels in the second one, village. In language, we sort of have the same idea. We have a lan, and then we have gua, and then we have an E at the end. That E at the end is there because it helps the G, the same in village, it helps the G say soft. Otherwise, it would be villag and languag. That would be a very weird thing to say. So when we put an E after a final G, we're telling ourselves, oh, that's going to be the soft G sound, the J sound, instead of the G sound. That's what those two E's seem like they're not doing a job, but they are. Our next word is window, so we're just going to divide it right between our consonants. Here we have the OW. W is a vowel when it's attached to another vowel like that. And in this case, it says long O. OW can either say O or ow. In this case, it says O. Morning, we're just going to divide that right between the two vowels, consonants again. And the next one is through. This through, ooh, ooh, like this. That's what this sound right here makes. I'm going to circle it and try to make it look a little like a football. You don't buy that, do you? That's the through, like I threw the football. Population is a fun word because we've got pop as our first syllable with the short, this is the symbol for short, the short U sound, O sound, pop. And then we have a long U, so that's going to be that gets to be a syllable all by itself because we call that an open syllable. Same with lay, long A, open syllable. It doesn't have a consonant after it. So far we have 1, 2, 3 vowels. And then we have shun, which has the IO in the middle of it, working together. Okay, and then we have parents. Parents, we have our vowel in the first one and our vowel in the second syllable. Island is a little tricky, and you do need to know it, wink, wink, nod, nod, because although I is a long I, the S is silent. It looks like it has a consonant behind it, but shh, it's not going to change the I into a short I. And then the vowel for our second syllable is A for land, which is super easy to spell. So just remembering that S, that silent S. Oh, look, we have some review words below. Okay, you recognize these. We're just going to quickly go through these. Discuss, all the way here becomes discussion because we have the double S at the end, and so our rule is that we're going to keep the S-I-O-N. Decision came from decide with the D-E at the end. That always gets switched to an S. Decide became decision. Television, jeune here, and information, question. This is that H sound that we can hear, question. Most of the time, Tion says shun. in a few words, it says tion. So think about that, because this word we have the qua, question, question. Okay, action, that comes from act, and so we're just going to add the ion. That's a really easy one to remember. Below, here we have the OW again, also making the long O sound, and the B, a long E sound in that first syllable, open syllable. Period, odd, making the schwa sound, the sound at the end there. And party, thinking about here that this Y that we use as a vowel at the end is a long E sound when it's in a polysyllabic word, a word with more than one syllable. Driving, we're just going to think about our base word drive, which has a silent E at the end. We'll drop that E and add ing. And that's that. Okay, you ready to do a little bit of work yourself? I think I've done all the work so far. No, I'm sure you've been following along carefully. We're going to share my whiteboard, and I want you to make sure you have your paper and pencil. And if you don't, pause the video right now and make sure you have it before we get started. I'm going to make a text box here, and the first word that I'm going to ask you to write is the word nations. And I want you to think about the word nation in syllables first, ne and then shun. Ne is an open syllable with a long A, and shun, just one nation. Ne, come on, ne, and then shun, T-I-O-N. Now we're going to make it a possessive. The nation's symbol, one of the nation's symbols, is a bald eagle. So we're going to do apostrophe S to show that the symbol belongs to the nation, right? Okay, so you just have to write nations. And then the next word is nations again, but this time we're talking about multiple nations. The nation's leaders discussed how to protect their shared coastlines. So first I'm going to think about the word nation again. I'm going to make sure it's plural before I think about the possessive. And then I'm going to think, okay, the coastline belongs to all the nations, the shared coastline. So I'm going to put an apostrophe after the S to show the possession. Remember, always we're going to think about the whether it's singular or plural first, and then we're going to think about the possession. So now I'm going to ask you to write the word children. I almost wrote it for you. Write the word children. Pause if you need to. It comes from the singular child, and then children. We already have the plural right here. Do you remember what I said about that? If the word is already plural, just go ahead and add apostrophe S to show the possession. The children's zoo has an animal nursery. The next word is trees. Trees, now listen carefully. The tree's branches are one tree's branches shade our backyard. How many trees do we have? First, we're going to write that. It's a singular tree. All those branches belong to our singular tree, so we're going to put the apostrophe S to show possession. What if we're talking about the rainforest and all those trees and the canopy it provides? The tree's canopy in the rainforest provide cool shade. So first, I'm going to think about all the trees in the rainforest and go ahead and write it in plural. Then I'll think about the possessive and give it an apostrophe. You've got this, don't you? And the next one is another one that we'll write the word women in plural, not woman. Woman is the singular. We're going to change it to women. We've already got a plural word. Let's go ahead and add apostrophe S for women's. The women's softball tournament will be this weekend, right? We can't play softball without more than one woman. So the women's softball team. Okay, two more. Today's math test will be after lunch. The word is today, today, easy word. And then the math test, it belongs on today, so we'll do apostrophe S to show that possession. Last word is village. Do you remember this one? The first syllable is really easy. Vil, V, short I, L. The next syllable also begins with L, and then we have A, G, E. Do you remember what I said about the E? It's helping the G say stay soft, village. All right. That is all the guided spelling we have for today. That's all we're going to do for today. Thanks for being with me. Stay safe.